So are you okay with me sitting here like at
Of
the edge of the
course.
bed? Like,
Of course. Yeah, no, you look great. You look beautiful. Are you okay with my hair like tweaking out on the side here?
oh my gosh, you're so funny.
I can't. These curls, as it gets longer, they're like out of control.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
I love it though. Don't do that. Don't look it down. It's fine. It looks cute.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Well, let's just jump right in and I can edit, so don't even worry. And we're just going to have a conversation.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Hi, guys. This is Sarah. I am back today with a super special guest. I'm so excited that Destiny joined us today. We are here to talk about her experience and her story with Spinal Flow. Destiny, thank you so much for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So excited to do this with you. All right. So I normally just start off by asking if you can just catch people up a little bit on like who is Destiny and what was your background like that made you search for Spinal Flow?
Who is Destiny? That is such a complex question.
Take it
Do we
any way you
have
want.
do we have like 10 hours? No, no. Okay. So, I am a mom of five. Most of my kids, well, all of my kids are adults. I have one left that lives here, on the farm. But I'm a nurse, I'm a wife, I am a best friend, I am a sister, I am a aunt, I am all of those things. But what brought me to Spinal Flow? A few things. Of course, I'm a nurse. I've been in the medical field for 10 years. So I've worked in the hospital. And just going through my own journey with my own health, I've always probably geared myself more towards holistic and alternative therapies. I got into nursing to be able to take care of people. I had a nurse instructor. She really did make a big difference in my life. And one of the things that she had said to me just stuck with me throughout my whole career is it's a pleasure and an honor to take care of the sick. And that was something that just resonated with me.
That's
And
beautiful.
when being in the hospital, and being with the sickest of the sick, I felt over the years being in just regular medical field just wasn't where my heart was. Just too many things that I saw that just weren't adding up. And then with my own health journey, I just really dug into alternative therapies.
Hmm.
Spinal Flow was my latest one that I have, alternative therapy that I have been introduced to and love, and I really think makes a big difference.
Love it. Thank you for that wonderful background. Okay, so there's going to be people out there listening to your story that are going to identify with what you have been experiencing. So, can you tell us what kind of body and health problems that you've been dealing with?
Sure. I've always been a pretty healthy person, never been overweight, always really took care of myself. I grew up Pennsylvania Dutch style. So my grandmother was one of 15 children. She grew up on a farm. So it was always good eating, healthy eating. I've always stayed active. I was in sports, through elementary, high school, and always stayed active. I did fitness competitions and I just always took care of myself, but I always just didn't feel well. I have a history of chronic issues of being fatigued, but I always just chalk that up to, I'm a mom, I'm raising kids, no matter how much you take care of yourself, you're always tired because, you're always on the go.
Yeah.
But I do have a history of having Epstein-Barr, so that also adds into the chronic pain and the chronic fatigue. So regular therapies, I'm not a medicine person, never have been. I like to be as clean as possible. So when looking for alternative therapies to help with either chronic pain, or just chronically not feeling well,
Yeah.
those are the things that I'm looking for that I don't have to ingest, something that would help me with my day to day.
Yeah, yeah. So, in case there's people out there wondering, because I know this is something that kind of perplexed me when I first met you, you are so healthy, you eat so clean. Do you happen to have any idea where the chronic pain is coming from?
Well, pain isn't just physical. We all have traumas. And if I would sit here and say that I don't have past traumas from my life of 48 years, I would be lying to you. So I do believe that the body stores those traumas in our tissues. So I am that person.
And that's a great answer.
Yeah, I could probably, without even meeting you, know, out of all of the healthy things that I do for myself, where am I missing? I'm missing something. I'm missing something somewhere. And then after getting into Spinal Flow, that's absolutely 100% true. That yes, there are some, traumas there that are being held in my body as yeah, blockages.
Yeah, and it manifests as pain. I love it. Thank
Yes.
you for answering that for people. So yeah, because Destiny, she stretches all the time and eats so healthy and just does all these good,
Yoga, yeah, all of
yeah,
it.
all these good things for herself, and yet her body still has pain. So that's very insightful that pain can come from other sources besides the obvious physical ones. Okay, so now we're leading up to spinal flow itself. Well, I shouldn't tell your story for you. Go ahead. How did you find Spinal Flow, and how was your like first session experience where you got it?
Every year, we take our adult children on a family vacation. My kids are scattered all over the country. We fly them into a centralized location, and then we just spend the whole week just, making family dinners, spending time with each other, reminiscing, and just doing fun things. This year, we were going back and forth between Georgia and North Carolina. And at the very end, we just real quickly, I decided on Georgia. It was because the travel would have been a little bit easier for me. So it was kind of selfish, but the kids were game. So we went to Georgia. And while we were there, I wanted to take the girls for a day of pampering at a spa. And I looked up to see which was the best spot in the area, called and made an appointment. The girls wanted facials, and there were 5 of us, and there were only 4 facials. And I was looking at all the different other things that
Sure.
they have available. And just so happened that there was a thing on there for spinal flow. And I was like, it was intriguing. So I read about it and I booked it and it was amazing.
That's so cool. I love
Yeah.
that. So you had never heard about it. You just happened to see it on the
Nope.
list of offerings.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Okay.
Yes.
So for people that don't know, a spinal flow session is typically 20 to 30 minutes long. Was that yours or was yours longer for your first one? The actual on the
It
physical time.
was it was about an hour total, only because she did the assessment with me.
Yeah.
She tried, she explained to me what spinal flow was and what, she was going to do and what, reactions that I may feel or see that she would
Yeah.
not be really touching me. And
Yeah.
I'm always the girl that's always game for anything. Like I want to try new things, I want to be able to. I always feel like God puts me in places for a reason.
Yeah.
So I always go with it. And I was like, okay, this is awesome. I would love to learn something new. I didn't have any expectations, I should say,
That's cool.
for the session. And when I was done with the session, I was like, wow, like that was amazing. And I was like, how am I ever going to be able to top that? And the practitioner had said to me, well, we can have you come up for a couple days and we'll do like back to back sessions to get you to where that you want to be. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm all for it. I'll come back up to Georgia. I'll take a couple days off and,
Yeah.
do this. She said, you can also check to see if there is a spinal flow provider in your area. So when we got home from vacation, that's the first thing that I did. I don't even think we were, we were 2 days from leaving from Georgia. And, it was late at night and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on the website right now and went on and saw that you were in my area. And I was like, okay, this is meant to be. This is awesome. So as soon as I got home, I gave you a call and
Yeah.
set up my first session.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so backing up, what was so great about your like you said, how will I top this? And you've obviously done a lot of stuff,
Yes.
massage and
Yes.
different things. So what
I've
was
done
so great about it?
acupuncture. I've done so many different alternative modalities. How am I going to top this? So it was amazing to me that the feelings that I felt and what was going on with not knowing a lot of what she was doing, not understanding it, not really having any understanding right away.
Mhm.
And then that it actually really did make a difference. Like I felt things that I was like, wow, that's really wild. Like, how is it, like, what is she doing that's making this happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um, what kind of things did you feel that day? Do you remember?
Yeah, so one of the first things is I started feeling a burning sensation in my right hip and leg. And then as I was laying there, I got an overwhelming feeling of like feeling like a dizziness feeling and almost like I felt nauseous.
Wow.
And like she could feel my panic, I think, like, because I was like, wait, what is going on? Like my body's doing something and I don't, what is going on? And she just put her hand on me and was like, you're okay, you're okay. And that to me was, and it did, it calmed me down right away. But to me, I was like, my
Nice.
body was doing stuff that I was not in control of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's so cool.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh. Okay. So then that was mainly why you feel like, okay, this was doing something. How can I top this? And when you left, did you feel like you had a deep tissue massage? Like were you loose and relaxed, or how was it after the session?
Yeah, so I will say since I'm 48 years old, I'm postmenopausal, I've struggled with anxiety
Hmm.
for the last couple of years. And it's not an anxiety like where you have panic where in your brain and you're thinking of crazy things. It's an anxiety of like an internal jitter. I don't know however else to explain it, but with it's definitely hormonal. And when I left her, I didn't have that feeling. Like I felt like myself, which was the first thing that I was like, oh, okay. I feel I just feel. I don't feel bad. I don't feel anxious. I just feel good. So
That's
that was one of the things that I was like, okay, that's interesting. Now she did say that I might hurt the next day, and I've been through the gamut of massages where, it takes 2 to 3 days to recover, or you've had acupuncture and, you have migraine for a couple days, or,
yeah.
you're chugging a gallon of water because, there's toxins that are running crazy in your body that you're trying to get out.
Yeah.
I didn't get that feeling. Not to say that I don't think that that can't happen. It
Sure.
just did not happen for me.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. That is so powerful that you said you felt like yourself. I think that's huge for people listening
Huge.
out there. I mean, mental health and anxiety and emotional and all this stuff is has got people disconnected from themselves.
Well,
So,
especially for women who are perimenopausal or postmenopausal, that's huge because I can tell you in mainstream medicine right now,
mhm,
there are a lot of women out there that they're going to their doctors and they're saying, listen, I am anxious or I'm depressed or I don't feel like myself. I don't have the libido that I used to have or whatever the case might be. They're being handed a pill and saying, here, you're just depressed. It's a chemical imbalance. There is a hormonal imbalance, and I feel like it's doing a disservice to us women who are educated or smart, know what our bodies are supposed to feel like, what we're not feeling like, and how do we get back to that?
yes. Oh, I love that. And you guys, this is coming from a nurse. Like
Yeah.
she knows and you've been around the block, you get it. And then also the doctors will just assume that it's just your life. But like you said, you've lived a busy, crazy life your whole life. So, but only in the last few years have you gotten more anxious.
Listen, if you are fueling your body with the correct nutrition, you are exercising and keeping active. Your body was meant to heal itself. Your body is there to help you. And if there is some type of imbalance, whether it's a blockage, a hormonal imbalance, or something that's going on, a pill isn't going to fix that.
So true.
Yeah.
Yes, very well stated. Okay, so moving forward from that first amazing experience in Georgia, then she reached out to me. We had an awesome phone call that evening. She, I think, came in like the very next opening I had.
Yes.
And ever since then, she's been coming pretty much 3 times a week, just, as much as you can squeeze into a busy, schedule. And after your first or second appointment, I remember what you said that you noticed. Do you remember, or do you want me to say what it was?
About the pain.
Well, go ahead. I'll let you, and then if you don't mention it, I'll say it. So yeah, go ahead. What did you
Yeah.
notice?
So I kept getting that burning sensation in my right hip, and it would radiate over to my left hip sometimes. But I remember one of the first couple sessions, you said drink water and take a walk. We need that energy to keep flowing. And I was like, okay. And I walked up and down the road and got into my truck. And as I got into my truck, I sat there and I was like, I don't feel any pain. Like, I'm not in any pain at all. And it was just wild to me because when I came in, I just
You
was
were hurting,
feeling
hurting,
off.
hurting.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
hurting, and I was like, that is insane. And automatically it shifted my mood. Chronic pain, it just can really shift your emotional
Yes.
well-being. And it just, even for strong people, like they feel like they have a breaking point. And if you have that chronic pain that you don't take care of, it just changes who you are. But to have that, and I was like, I remember driving home and I just felt so good. Like my energy, my personality, like everything about me, my emotional well-being, I just felt, I was like, it was like, I have hope that I can always feel like this. Like, this is a modality that has proven that it's taking my pain, that I'm not even aware of where it's coming from, because
It's
all of
over
my
your whole
labs, all
body.
of my testing, everything is, I'm a healthy person. That was another indication to me. Okay, we need to dive deeper into where this pain is coming from.
Wow. Okay, that's so cool. And then how long, do you remember how long it lasted? Just to give other people an idea.
Healing is not linear. There's two steps back, three steps forward. I feel like, and everybody's healing journey is different. So I can tell you what my healing journey is, and yours may be totally different.
True.
We all have different experiences and different paths.
Yeah.
Some of us have more emotional baggage than others. Some of us have more chemical imbalances. Some of us have more physical chronic conditions.
So comparing is no
So
good.
comparing, there is really no comparing. All I can say is I believe that it works and will work for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. So after another session, I think it was maybe your second session, I remember asking you like, has anything changed? Have you noticed anything changes? And you stopped and you're like, I haven't had restless leg.
Yes, yes, yes,
And so that's an example of like a subtle one that
yes.
it was so cool that you thought about it because how long have you been dealing with that?
Since I'm 13 years old. Yeah. Yeah. Since 12, 13 years old. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. And I can tell you that, I've, over the years, it would get really bad and doctors would say, oh, we can put you on Mirapex. We can put you on this medication. And I'm just not a medication person. My family isn't, my mom and dad are in their 70s. They don't take any prescription medications. Like, we're
good for
just
them.
not those people. We are people that feel like diet and exercise. You're only going to the doctor, if you're oozing or bleeding from somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to get in. I just see so, and especially being, in the medical field, I see so many people that put their trust in the pharmaceutical companies and in doctors that are making money off of them to be
Yeah.
sick, that I just don't ever, I would rather deal with the pain or the restless legs than to, or try, look for alternative therapies than to try and go down that route.
Yeah, no, that a great way to answer that. And also, I don't know if a lot of people realize this. Like, you know how school age kids oftentimes don't know where the food in a grocery store comes from,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're raised in the city.
yeah,
Well, kind of the same thing. I think a lot of people don't realize that these pharmaceutical drugs that they have come to rely on, most of them have actually come from nature, from plants. And then the
yeah,
pharmaceutical industry, just synthesizes, creates a
yeah,
fake version of what God had created originally. So that's just a side note that like Destiny and I both use like essential oils, and that's just a very concentrated form of the plant.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
if the drug is so powerful, imagine how much more powerful the real thing is, the authentic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's again going back to what you said, God created, like herbs and these things that we can grow, and over, you know, years we've gotten away from growing our own things and, having our own food, to having, mass production of stuff and having food that's packaged.
Yeah,
That's
and they have
really,
to add in the nutrients afterward.
and yeah, 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 totally makes a big difference.
Craziness, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the third one that I remember that you had noticed, like, probably after your first week of sessions, so, like, your 3rd session, was your sleep score. Can you tell people about that?
Yes. So I've never had a problem with, especially with being chronically fatigued. I've never had a problem with sleeping. But as you get older and post-menopausal sleep, sometimes it's really, really hard. But I started with the Spinal Flow, and my sleep score has been getting so much better. I'm at 78, which is like insane to me because I was in the 40s. So that has really helped. And again, when you're walking 12, 13, 15, and even 25,000 steps on a weekend from being on the farm. Like, you're like, how are you not just dropping over and just falling asleep? It's just something that just my body would not let me do. But since starting Spinal Flow, I've really seen, and again, um, it may happen for somebody where they have 1, 2 sessions and their sleep is better. This is something that I've been chronically dealing with for years now.
Mhm.
I've had some chronic issues that have been plaguing me for 20, 30 years. The expectation that I'm going to have one Spinal Flow session and all of my problems are going to disappear is just makes no sense to me.
Very true.
People will take a pill 3 times a day for a
Forever.
month or two or forever before their body can adapt to that. But the expectation that if it's an alternative therapy, it should happen right away, or it doesn't work, it just blows my mind, makes no sense.
That's so true, and actually, that's a good thought you bring up of people will ask, like, "Well, how many treatments will I need, or how long do I need to do it?"
Ask your body.
Well, that's a good answer, and then on your analogy, how long do people need to be on their pharmaceutical drugs?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, do they
And
ever
is this
actually
something, yeah, and is this something, again, I don't want people to think that this is something that they may have to do for the rest of their lives 3 times a week. It may not. You may start out, doing 3 times a week and you progress and you're feeling great, where once in a while,
Mhm.
you may have blockages for months, you may have blockages for years, you may have a blockage for a week. Everybody's different. So you can't, I don't think that you can make that a blanket statement. I think everybody's different.
Yeah, and to your point too about how frequent or how long you mentioned listen to your own body. So,
Yes.
I know we were laughing and talking about this one day about like, how long do I need to keep brushing my teeth every night for?
Yeah.
Well, it's a maintenance thing. As
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
want your teeth, you should probably
Yeah.
brush them.
Well, here's the way that I see it now. In your 20s, I mean, you've only had 20 years, of abusing, not really abusing your body, but you get into your 20s, you start abusing your body. Your body in your 20s is giving you subtle hints here and there.
Mhm.
By your 30s, those hints are a little bit louder. They're speaking louder to you. And I will tell you, by your 40s, they're starting to scream at you. So by the time they're starting to scream at you, you're in a chronic state of needing help. And then in your 50s, if you haven't taken control somehow,
Yeah.
where's that going to lead you?
Yeah.
You're going to be you're setting yourself up for a lot of hurt and pain, and going to the doctor and spending a lot of money and making somebody else rich and you not any less sick.
So true. Gosh. And what a good way to look at that too. So somebody watching this that's in their 20s, hey, get on it now, and maybe you'll
Invest
only
in
need
yourself now. Yeah. So you're
yes,
not investing in somebody else.
yes, invest in yourself now, and maybe you'll only need a few sessions a month, just to maintain and to never get to this bad
Yes.
place.
Yes.
But if you're somebody that's a senior citizen and you have been on layering and chemical blockages from all your pharmaceuticals and you hardly ever move your body and you eat crap food,
Yeah.
you might need a lot more sessions and it might take a lot longer before, you make significant progress. But on the other side, there's also a lot of stories where people have felt drastically better after a few sessions. So
Yeah,
everybody's body is
absolutely.
different. So,
Yes. Yes. I
yeah.
don't believe in regret because I believe everything that we go through in life is for a reason. But I wish I would have listened to those subtle cues in my 20s
Yeah.
that would have made me take better care of myself.
Yeah.
So if I could do that for one person and say, hey, listen, just listen to your body, because it only gets harder to maintain and feel good as you get older. You
Yeah.
need to really make a conscious decision to eat better, take care of yourself, stay away from chemicals and processed things
Hmm.
to keep yourself healthy.
Yeah. And just like money compounds, health compounds also. So
Yeah,
if you start
absolutely.
early, you're
Yes,
probably adding like 5, 10, 15 years to your life of
absolutely.
healthy years later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this is not a sales pitch. This is a sincere question. Since you have tried lots of different modalities in your lifetime, how would you personally describe spinal flow compared to other modalities that you've tried? And like, is like, I guess what I'm getting at is if a person's thinking, well, I already go to the chiropractor, why would I try spinal flow? Or, I already get acupuncture or massage. Why bother with yet another new modality? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. All those alternative modalities are great. I mean, they all have a purpose. If somebody has muscle issues, a massage is great. But then there are some people that they don't have muscle issues, so now the massage isn't gonna, isn't the fit for them. I feel like spinal flow is an all-encompassing modality.
Hmm.
So it's not just for muscles, for mental, emotional, physical. I feel like it encompasses all of it. You can't massage out an emotional blockage, you can't.
Yeah.
So I think that's why spinal flow is so special to me. I truly, truly believe that it works. And I just wish more people knew about it.
I love it. And that's actually a beautiful way to end this, because this is the whole reason that we're doing this video and videos like this to come, is just to let people know what it is so that
Yes.
they can go experience it. And I know we didn't go into a lot of what it is and how it works. But we can do that in future videos. But in a nutshell, you're working directly with the body's central nervous system.
Yes.
And the central nervous system, I mean, if you touch your finger, you feel it. You touch your toe, you feel it. It's because the nerves are connected throughout your entire body to every cell, tissue, and organ from your
Yes.
central nervous system, from your spinal cord.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when you're in tune, when you're connecting to these access points along your spinal column, then it activates the central nervous system and puts your body into a healing state. And amazing things happen
Yes.
after, as you heard from Destiny's story, after first session, second session, third session, crazy stuff that, and subtle things like the restless leg going away or the sleep score improving by like double of what it used to be.
Yeah.
But, they might be subtle, but they're powerful and life impacting changes.
And it's your body doing it yourself. You're just guiding that body to where those blockages are to be released.
Yes, yes. And then one last thought before we wrap it up. Some people are a little bit more nervous about new agey woo woo stuff. How would you, as a Christian, explain spinal flow in terms of that question? You know where I'm going.
So God made us. God made us as energy, as beings. And there is electrical currents that run through our body. Our heart is made of electrical currents, so we do have energy in our body. So I understand from the aspect of a Christian being like nervous, thinking it is quote unquote woo woo. But it's not. It's biologically it I just feel like they may be looking at it from glasses that are shaded or glasses that are frosted. They need to clean up their glasses and look and say, this is actually a real physical thing that is happening. Our bodies heal themselves. God made us, and God made us to heal ourselves. So I want them to not be nervous and scared, thinking that it's something that might take them out of their comfort zone. But once they realize and understand the science behind it, they may feel different.
That's a great way to say it. And I love that you said, God designed us just for our bodies to heal themselves, because I mean, I guess a person could just realize, like, if you cut yourself and it heals, they might look at that and think that's woo woo. right?
Yes, right?
It's too good to be true. Like, that's crazy. You can
Yeah,
heal yourself.
yeah.
But no, it's no different from a physical, our body healing itself physically. It can heal itself chemically and emotionally and mentally and in all the ways it needs to. And all the practitioner is actually doing is touching an access point along the spine.
I think we get so wrapped up in needing to see tangible things,
Mhm.
like a pill or, or a drink or
Yeah.
something to be able to say, okay, this is what has made that happen. And because we don't see energy or we don't
Yeah.
see the blockages, people just, they don't know how to interpret that. And
Yeah.
that's where the scary part is if they could just let that part go, they could see just how amazing our bodies are.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting too. You might not be able to see a blockage, but you can feel a blockage.
Oh, for sure you can.
Yeah. And then speaking the Christian language, with eyes of faith, right?
Yeah,
See the
yeah,
things unseen. And
yeah.
so, yeah, it's all glory goes to God for creating us in these beautiful bodies that do have the natural ability to heal themselves. And there's definitely, I guess a word of caution for a conservative Christian. You might seek out Spinal Flow and end up finding yourself with a practitioner that is into woo-woo stuff. That could happen.
Yeah, yes, I agree with that. But I would also want to say that if you are a Christian and you pray about it. And if you feel that it's something that is for you that you would like to try, God's going to place you with somebody of where you need to be to see that, yes, that this is. God doesn't want you to be sick. He doesn't want you to not heal. He's going to place you with like-minded people.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, there are people out there that they use this alternative therapy for their own
Mhm,
reasons to push whatever they have going on in their lives.
mhm,
But if you break down to the foundation of what spinal flow is
mhm,
and how it works,
mhm.
it's the body healing itself. It's no woo woo. It's energy, which we are made of energy. So I think pray about it. That's what I did too. I always do those types of things too. I always pray, okay, is this something that I should be doing?
Yeah.
You're not doing any kind of seance or you're not doing any kind of weird stuff in this.
No.
It's literally you're laying there, your body is getting the rest that it needs, and your practitioner is moving that energy or trying to move that energy, helping your body move that energy past those blockages. Whether it's a blockage from an emotional past, from a chemical because you drink 3 times a week, or you're on 5 different types of pharmaceutical medications,
Mhm.
or if it's because, when you were younger, you fell and you broke your hip, or you broke your ankle, or you broke something that there's a physical blockage there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what we're trying to do.
I love it. I love it. That's so great. And then I guess just to 100% drive home the point I was also trying to make is just separate in your mind spinal flow versus all these other modalities that literally might be more woo woo. And realize that just because a practitioner is offering all these things, don't group it in. It's not spinal flow is not those things. Spinal
Yeah,
flow is its
absolutely.
own modality, and
Yeah.
it's it's not woo woo. That's just what
Yeah.
I say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This was incredible. Did I miss anything? Was there anything you wanted to share that I didn't ask?
No, I don't think so. I think we kind of gave the foundation of what spinal flow is, gave an understanding of what it is, what it can do for people. And my hope is just, doing this podcast that people will see it and listen to what, educational parts that we are able to provide them. Because at the end of the day, I'm a nurse and I just want to take care of people. I want to give them the education that they need to be able to be healthy for themselves, for their family, and yeah, and to move forward.
I love it. Thank you so much, Destiny, for your time this afternoon and for sharing your story with everybody. And I'd like to have you back on in the future to talk about the exciting things that I know are coming for
Absolutely.
you. So I'm
Yes.
going to
Yes.
leave that for now and
Okay.
come back around. All right.
All right.
Have a good
Thanks,
one.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right. Bye.